like, viewer, comment, show, this is an example. I think we're live everywhere else, though. Okay. Well. All right, Coach. We are live everywhere else. Great. Hey, Tasha, what's going on? All right, we making this work over here. So, man, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on, party people? I can't say with my normal enthusiastic voice because it's a real test going on right now. But what's up, Tasha? How are you? So, anyway, we going a little bit more high tech over here. So. We are going on different streams, different social media handles, a little different from normal over here. So I'm happy and I appreciate my guest coming on, hanging in there with me today. So he's just gonna have to be my guy, my test guy over here, and he said he's all for it. So I'm happy. Listen, so. What a long day, a long time coming. Now I'm familiar, my guest today, I'm real familiar with this particular school. I've never personally been there yet, but the school, I have a sister right there in Durham, North Carolina. I'm going to talk about where the school is. I'm going to speak for you, Coach. But, really great school. I have a cousin that graduated there. And so I need to come there. I've never made my way over there, but I do have family members that have gone there and talk very highly of this particular school. So I'm super excited to have my guest here today to talk about NC Central, HBCU school in North Carolina. I have guest Jim Koerner on here today with me. And Jim, man, I thank you so much for coming on, man. And if you could, man, I have all my guests that usually come on. I have them kind of start from the beginning, go all the way from where you're from, playing career, all the way through to where you are now, the head coach at North Carolina Central.
Okay, I'm going to try to give you the short version. That's a long story, but first, I'm glad to be on with you. This is exciting for me, and it's a pleasure to be able to do this. But you go back to the beginning. I'm from Buffalo, New York, born and raised, and it's cold up there, and it's not necessarily baseball weather. But if you know anybody from Buffalo, we're always proud to call that home. But went to school in Rochester, New York, St. John Fisher College. Played 4 years of baseball there as an outfielder, and had the opportunity to sign a contract with the Richmond Roosters in the Frontier League, an independent league, and unfortunately got hurt early on in that experience. And soon after that, I was working in a retail job, and I got a phone call from a local Division III school who just started their baseball program. The name of the school is Medaille College, and they called me out of the blue. They said they're back in town, and they wanted to know if I wanted to be their head baseball coach. And I'm one of the very fortunate few that got to begin this journey as a head coach. I was 25 years old at the time, and went in there with obviously no experience but my playing career, and took a program that was 1 year old, and we went from having 12 players my first year and 2 wins to having our place in the conference. We lost in the championship game of the conference tournament my third year. We had, I think it was a 17 win improvement. I think we went 19-19 or 18-18, something along those lines. And it was a great 3 years. And I was given the opportunity to go to Monmouth University in New Jersey as their assistant coach under Dean Edholt in the Northeast Conference. I was only with Monmouth for 1 year. And from Monmouth, I headed over to Marshall University in West Virginia. Marshall was transitioning from the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference I think it was the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, the MAC. I think that's the MAC, yeah. It's been so long, to Conference USA. So my second year at Marshall University, we were in Conference USA. So we had the opportunity to play against Rice and Tulane and Southern Wolves, and it was great baseball, playing in front of 3,000-4,000 people every night, and just tremendous atmospheres against tremendous talent. Unfortunately, at the time, the head coach, a connection back at home with the University of Buffalo came up, and they asked me to come on as their assistant coach and recruiting coordinator, and spent 5 years of Buffalo and a bunch of other draft guys, and that's when the opportunity came up at North Carolina Central. And now 9 years later, here I am. We took over a program down here that was in its first year as a full Division I member. Most people don't realize that North Carolina Central Athletics was transitioning from Division II to Division I, and 2012 was the first year that we were full-fledged Division I members. So again, it's been a great journey. I took over a team that won 6 games the year before I got there, and 3 games before that. And in a 2-year period, we increased by over 20 wins. We've had over 10 players sign professional contracts. We've had a couple guys drafted. We had another player this year signed with the San Francisco Giants. We've had 6 All-Americans in the last 6 years, and then even better than that, our team GPAs are around a 3.3 and close to 100%. So very proud of what we've done so far at NCCU.
That's good, Coach. So congratulations on that, turning that around, man. I know you're a New York guy. I mean, we got a little echo over there. Yeah, so it's I'm a New York guy myself. I ain't never been up to Buffalo though. It's one place I haven't ventured way up that way yet. So I've had a cousin of mine who played football there in the mid '90s. So but yeah, we and then Monmouth, New Jersey. I've been to that campus, and now UNC, man, you turning that whole thing around, man. So tell me a little bit about, you kind of cutting out in and out, but where is NC Central? Where is that located?
Yeah, we are right in the heart of Durham, North Carolina.
All right, now
just outside the city, the main city.
There's a lot of, North Carolina. Yeah, like North Carolina to me is one of those states that it feels like it got 100 colleges. You know what I'm saying? All within that, Raleigh, between Raleigh and Charlotte, it's like so many schools, man. So, you're in Durham, and you're in the MEAC conference, Division I, playing top level. So when it comes to the recruiting side, how tough is it, man? Recruiting in state when you got right within the 20-mile, 30-mile radius, you got in UNC, Duke, NC State. I'm sure there's a couple more that I'm missing over there. So how, A&T or whatever, right down the street, something not too far away. But how do you deal with recruiting right there in that area over there? What they call it, the triangle or something like that, something like that. So.
Yep. It's a grind.
How do you deal with the recruiting in there? But so much company.
Yeah, it's a challenge. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. There's 19 Division I schools in the state of North Carolina, which makes competition for players extremely challenging. But on the other end of that, there's a lot of good baseball here in North Carolina. There's a lot of talent, and we feel as a staff, if we do our job and work hard, we're going to find the players that are good fits for our program, and guys that are excited about being there, and guys with high character that love the game and want to develop.
Yeah, that's speaking of the recruiting side, and I don't want to, it is what it is. I want the room. I want to learn more about how is it that was there any I don't know the right word, but was there any things that kind of cautioned you that when you got this head coaching opportunity at an HBCU school? Was it something like you look kind of crazy, man, can I do this? Should I do this? Was there any type of caution, I should say, you know.
That's a great question. You know, when I was with the university, this is the story behind it, and I think it's a great story. When I was with the University of Buffalo, we came down and we played North Carolina Central in 2011, and I just loved it. You know, we ended up winning all 3 games, but it wasn't that. It was just there was a really good nucleus of freshmen on that team that just played the game really hard. The Durham Athletic Park it's just a fun place to be at and to play and to coach, and it's just a great area. You know, Raleigh, Durham, the Triangle here is just a tremendous area to go to school, to raise a family, and North Carolina Central University is just a very welcoming campus, a very family type atmosphere with just great people, which made the transition extremely easy for me and my family.
Nah, I mean, I have, you know, sister who raised 4 kids in that area, so I know the Durham area really, you know, really well. I got a couple of them on listening right now. Some of my nephews now, they're grown now, but you know, I've always, you know, I've always loved that area. You know, it's you know, it's one of those things, Coach. So one of my oldest nephew, he actually played at A&T back in the early 2000s for a couple years.
I don't want to hear that.
I know. I'm just gonna. I got a story around it. This is why I'm bringing it up. Okay. So, you guys are D2. He was a D1 player. So that's what I'm gonna say right there. Okay. So,
okay.
Right back in 02, you guys were D2, right? So yeah. All right. So I'm gonna leave it at that. So I went to the MEAC championship it was at Disney during this particular year, and I went and I was so surprised because, you know, I'm looking to see all these black, because it's a HBCU schools, but it was a lot of, you know, it was mixed. Like it was more than 50-50 white and black. And I didn't, even his coach, I didn't even know his coach was, was white too. And I was just like, you know, I'm looking around the field and trying to I'm looking for colors and stuff like that to, you know, blue and whatever his colors, you know, were. But I was surprised to see. Now, when it comes to recruiting on that side, you know, I haven't really looked at your roster. I'm sure it's like most HBCU schools and most of the coaches that I've had on so far, it's like almost like 50-50, you know? Do you, when you go to recruit, you know, the black or the white player, you know what I'm saying, to an HBCU school, you know, the black family, you walk in there and here's the, you know, the white coach, or the white family, you walk in and you're trying to get them to come to HBCU school. Do you get any type of, you know, feedback, positive? I mean, obviously, you know, positive side, but any negative feedback, like, oh, is my kid gonna, you know, handle it there and stuff like that? Do you deal with that?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. We do, and it's you know, most of the time it's positive, and what I tell people is the people that want to be here are the people that it's the right fit for. It doesn't bother them. It's just who they are as people, and the people that don't feel comfortable with it, those are the ones that don't come, and that's fine too. They can, you know, go in their own direction. But we look for both, you know, black and white players that are going to be good fits, that want to embrace HBCUs and the culture at the university and what we're trying to do. And this is my 4th Division I school, and I can say with zero hesitation, it's a tremendous education. It's tremendous baseball, and I've been surrounded by tremendous people from day one.
And I love it, man. And I love your uniform. That's a nice uniform. I was looking online. I was like, man, this, you know, I'm a little stickler when it comes to that. You know, you gotta look good, play good, man. I love the uniforms, man. I got you know, shout out to everybody listening and I got. He went to UNC, so I already know how he feels about that area. He says North Carolina is a special place to go to school because there are so many schools and so many college-age students. Okay. He also says with the great and historic law school there, do you allow kids to redshirt and get 2 degrees in 5 years?
If it's the right fit, yeah, we've redshirted some kids and have done some things. More of it's been on the injury side or the player development side than just strictly a school decision. But we want kids to be able to graduate in 4 years to get their degree and then make decisions based off of that on a secondary or an advanced degree. A lot of the guys, every guy we recruit, we hope can come in and make an immediate impact on the program and be a positive influence within the university.
All right. Bill says, do you play your home games at the Durham Bulls Stadium?
We play our home games at the old Durham Bulls Stadium, where they filmed the movie Bull Durham, where the Durham Bulls played there.
Really?
Yeah, that's it's great. And the Durham Bulls take care of it for us. We keep her out there. They get it ready for all of our practices, games. We have our locker room there, laundry facility. Everything we do basically is out of that stadium, and it's in tremendous condition. And I encourage people to go online and take a look at some pictures or go on our Twitter page and see some pictures. It's a great facility, and it's got so much historic value to it. It's a fun place to play at.
Yeah, I didn't even know they still had the stadium there. And yeah, that's I've never played the International League, but I've drove by the highway when I've seen the new field off the highway there. But yeah, I didn't even know they still had the old one. So how far is it from each other, from the new one and the old one?
Oh, a mile. It's right down the road. It's really close.
That's it.
Seriously, it's probably about a mile and a half, maybe. We play Duke at the new one every year. We played them twice there last year, and so we'll play against Duke there every year, which is a fun game.
I mean, gosh, so speaking of that schedule like that, I mean, you got the tough MEAC conference. How many out of conference games are you playing against the Dukes, the NC States, and because they're right there,
Yeah, a lot. We'll play Duke twice a year. We'll play NC State. We play, you name it, anybody in the state. We've played East Carolina, UNC Wilmington, Campbell, High Point. Besides UNC, we haven't played Chapel Hill yet, but besides UNC, I don't believe there's a school in the state that we haven't played at some point over the last 9 years.
Wow. I mean, I guess that's a recruiting, like you could say, hey, you may not be in the, the ACC or whoever, but you're playing against those schools, you know what I'm saying? Each and every year. And I'm sure that prepares you, prepares you for the MEAC conference once you get in conference, right?
Without question. Yeah. We want to play the best teams we can. And, if fans of the program know, we had NC State on the ropes last year. We were beating State. They were fifth in the country at the time, and undefeated sixth inning. And we ran out of gas at the end. We had the winning run thrown out at the plate at the bottom of the ninth. We ended up losing in extra innings. I believe the final score was like 11-10, and we've played close games against Duke and other programs as well. So, we feel like we're right there, and playing that kind of competition definitely elevates our players' level of awareness and level of focus and gets us prepared to play our conference schedule.
Yeah, I love it, man. So, You talk about Old Durham Bull State. That's your home field. What are the facilities like? You got indoor, outdoor cages. Tell me a little about the school and the dorms. On campus. Tell me a little bit about that, man.
Yeah, great question. Yeah, most of the baseball stuff we do is at the stadium, but on campus, just the growth over the last 9 years is tremendous to see. We've had upgrades to our basketball arena. They've put a whole new court in, brand new video board, upgrades our weight room. They redid that. They added a brand new student weight room. Currently, right now on campus, they're going to finish up a $50 million brand new student union. They have construction going on right now on 3 brand new residential halls that are going to be completed this fall as well. And they're planning on building a new business school and some other expansion projects as well. So the growth on campus has just been, it's been fun to watch since I've been there. They've turfed, we had a practice football field. They turfed the practice football field. So they have done in a hands-on par with the other universities. It's been a lot of fun to be around.
All right. Bill says, do kids transfer out after 2 years and try to go to the Campbells, Elon's, UNC Charlotte type of schools?
No, when guys come to us, it's we want them for 4 years and we keep them for 4 years, and we're here to develop players and to graduate players and to prepare them for life after North Carolina Central. So it's the same as it is at Duke or NC State or anywhere else. We want to bring in our freshmen. We want to help them get better. We want to help them get their degrees and prepare them for hopefully a professional career, and if not that, then life after baseball, where they can make use of their major and be productive people in the community.
Man, I love it, man. Bill says, do you prefer JUCO players or freshmen?
A mix. We have a mix. Now, I would prefer freshmen, but it doesn't always work out that way. I believe freshmen get a chance to get more ingrained in the program. They're there for 4 years. You have them longer. You can get more out of freshmen over a 4-year period, but that's not always the case. We do have to rely on the junior colleges, and we have gotten some very, very good junior college players over the years that have been great members of the program, but also great representatives of the university and in the community as well. So it's kind of a mix.
All right. Because it's, North Carolina, good weather, MEAC conference, great conference, what kind of recruiting, how far do you reach when it comes to the recruiting side? How big is, UNC Central's reach?
Wow. Yeah. We have players on our roster currently from California, Texas, New York, all over. And it's, we try to look for the best players that we can, the best students that we can, and the best fits that we can to put together our roster and make it work for us. And there's obviously a lot of North Carolina, students on our team as well, and the region around North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia. But, we try to go where we can to find the right players for the program.
I've been having these, the last week or so, I've been having a lot of HBCU coaches, and it seems like you guys are a tight, group over there, man. And, what are some of the issues and problems do you see overall as a conference, not just your school, but, certain issues and, it may not see none, I don't know, but, do you see any type of issues, anything with the conference and that you see being in this for a while now that needs to be addressed, needs to be upgraded or anything?
No, it's a great question. And, I believe every situation has their unique set of challenges. I've been like we talked about, I've been at University of Buffalo, been at Marshall, Monmouth, here at North Carolina Central, and I think every one of those situations has something to it that, hey, we wish this could be a little better. We wish we had a little more money here. We wish, maybe our budget was a little bigger and those types of things. But attitude and what you make of it, and it's easy to sit back and complain about what you don't have or what you might want. But I think it's more productive to focus on the good things that we're doing to bring quality Division I baseball and academic experience to our student athletes and to prepare them for life after NCCU. So, long answer is, yeah, I think there are things that we. A little bigger long run, I see those struggles in a lot of different places, and I'm not here to make any excuses. We all have a job to do, and we all want to be champions.
I hear you, man. I've got a couple questions came in. Daniel wants to know: do you ever play SWAC schools?
Yeah. I wish we could more. We did. We played Alabama State. It's been probably 5 or 6 years now. The geography, it just makes it tough. It's a little bit out of our travel range when you start getting into Alabama, Mississippi, Texas. So, and even budget-wise, it makes it challenging to get out that way. But yeah, I would love to get in a situation where we could play some SWAC schools. I know they do a MEAC SWAC challenge in New Orleans every year with the MLB a diversity program. We haven't been invited yet. If they're listening right now, or D, if you have any connections with that and you can help us get in that tournament, we would love to get involved.
Yeah, man. We behind the scenes, we need to get you on there. We're trying to do a lot of things for for you guys or the HBCU schools, man. I'm trying to make it pop for you guys, man.
Yes, sir.
I got another one that says, what type of players do you look for at NC Central?
Good ones. No, to me, it's a combination of talent and character. We've passed on some high-end talent players that maybe don't suit us from a character standpoint or an academic standpoint. I really believe there's a direct correlation between someone's academic ability, academic aptitude, and then their ability on the field to be accountable, to be players that you can trust in key situations. And I've been doing this for 20 years, and it's a correlation. Guys that struggle academically are typically the same guys that are going to miss signs or miss a key play or something that's going to cause you to win and lose baseball games. So we try to find student athletes that really understand what it means to be a student athlete.
Speaking of the student athletes, so what are some of the requirements to get into NC Central?
Yeah, great question, and it's the same sliding scale the rest of the NCAA has. You need to have a minimum. I think the minimum GPA is a 2.3, and then you have to have a corresponding ACT or SAT score with that, and that's the standard that's used throughout NCAA Division I. So, we're looking for players that can go above that bar. Obviously, that bar is the minimum, and we want guys that want to push that and strive to be great in the classroom.
All right. Bill says, have they made a college regional? I know in the past few years they have been pretty good.
Yeah. We've been really close. We have not gone to a regional yet. It's the next thing on my bucket list. I'm only 45, but I feel like we've been really close, and we work for it every year. I feel like we have the talent to get there, and it's hard to win championships, and I give a lot of credit to the programs that have, and we're doing everything we can to cross that bridge and take that next step. But that's a great question. We're close. I wish I could say yes. I wish I had a big ring on my finger that said that we were MEAC champions, but it's coming. We're not going to be far away.
What is so what are your, is A&T your rival or who's your rival in the MEAC? Or everybody?
Everybody, but A&T definitely. There's a lot of history between North Carolina Central and North Carolina A&T, and not just baseball, but basketball and football and all sports. It's almost like Duke Carolina. It's pretty heated. You know, there's a lot of trash talking back and forth between both universities.
Yeah, I think I knew that answer. I just want to hear from you. But, yeah, they Daniel wants to know how many of your players have gone to the next level.
Personally, from over 20 years, I've had 35-ish players go to the next level. I have a former player that's catching with the Seattle Mariners now, and Tom Murphy. I had a pitcher that spent some time with Tampa Bay, and Steve Geltz, and a bunch of other players that have reached various levels of minor league baseball. At North Carolina Central, we third player in the last 3 years signed with a major league team. We've had 5 over the last 6 years, and we have 3 or 4 guys on our current roster that have a very good chance of being drafted or signed after next year. Some really high-end talent.
So I mean, that's awesome. Congrats there, man. I got a question that's I'm sorry, it's not coming up who the question is from. So what makes a Central player, what makes NC Central an attractive place to play in college from a recruiting standpoint?
The very first thing that comes to my mind is the people. We have tremendous people, from our athletic director to our administrators to our coaching staff to all the support people at North Carolina Central. It is very much a family type of atmosphere where there's a lot of people that want you to be successful from an academic standpoint, from a baseball standpoint, from a life standpoint. And to me, that's the most unique thing about it, is the fact that our people really care individually about how our guys are doing on and off the field.
Man, I love it. Bill says, do you know the history or anything about HBCUs before taking the job? Did he know about all the college rivalries in the state, or how highly educated the state is being a Southern state?
It's a great question as well. I was familiar with some of the rivalries in the state, and I was not very familiar with HBCU universities much at all. The rivalries, the history behind it, all the pride that goes into it. The biggest thing that I guess, for lack of a better word, surprised me or excited me, might be even better, was just the amount of pride our alumni have in our history and our university. It is evident in everything that we do. Excuse me. It's evident in everything that we do, and it's really fun to be around. But the pride from our alumni will rival any Duke or NC State alumni, and it's fun to know that people care about the history.
All right, good deal. Bill says, D, you only have to say Central. The North Carolina part is not needed. Coach will explain. Excuse me. All right, I gotta learn the North Carolina. Because I can't say UNC Central because somebody told me to say that. I keep saying, North Carolina Central, so I just need to say Central. Okay, all right. Gosh. Anyway, next question. How does a player get in front of a Central in front of, you, Coach? How did they get in front of you? Because I can't see NCCU. It's just too hard to say. How can I get in front of Central, for recruiting interest purposes?
Yeah, great. Yeah, if there's anybody out there that has an interest in North Carolina Central baseball, please send me an email. Send me an email. Send one of my assistant coaches an email. And if you have video and you want to send us video, we'll look at anybody's video and give an evaluation. And if there's a good fit out there that we don't know about, we would love to know about it. We're always trying to expand our recruiting horizons and reach out in different areas and develop relationships with different people. So if you have interest and if you have some video, please reach out to us via email and we'll love to get back to you.
Coach, what's your email so I can put it in the comment section?
Yep, it's Koerner, and that's at nccu.edu.
Is it a J in the front? I missed that. Is it a J in the front?
Yes, J-K,
right?
Yep, J-K-O-E-R-N-E-R. Not the way I spelled it on the screen, D. I was typing too fast. I got the I can't spell my own last name. I got the R and the N backwards.
All right. Give me. All right. So I'm looking at your. All right. So give me one more time. I'm so sorry, man, because I was looking at your title, and I'm like, whoa, two different things. So give it to me one more time, Coach.
Okay. J-K-O-E-R-N-E-R at nccu.edu.
All right, cool. All right, I got you, Coach. My bad on that. I should have that stuff ready too, because I know I don't have it right in front. Daniel wants to know, do you guys have camps?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we're actually hosting two very important prospect camps this August. August 23rd and August 30th. We have two prospect camps that, because of the recruiting restrictions right now due to this pandemic and how Division I coaches can't get out and recruit, these camps are going to be really important for our recruiting efforts. So again, if anybody has interest, send me an email and I'll make sure I get you the camp information.
All right. You heard that there. Daniel, I have heard lots of coaches say, hey, send me an email. And we did get any responses back from my son's videos. Does that mean they aren't interested, or was that, they weren't, basically, were they not interested? Why are they not getting any replies back?
Well, it's definitely a case-by-case situation. I don't want to give a blanket statement for every college coach out there. I will say that personally, I get 50 to 100 emails a day on various things. So potentially, if someone's not answering, maybe it just got lost or. But I will say, if you send us an email, and I only can speak for myself, if you send us an email, we will read it and we will watch the video and we will respond.
All right. Next question we got is, with the statue coming down and having all the, the white state, is he getting a lot of flack because of his staff?
Am I getting a lot of flack? Well, we just hired, and it hasn't been announced yet, we just hired a really, really great African-American assistant coach who's going to be working with our infielders this year. He played at Coastal Carolina, someone that's going to add a lot of value to the coaching staff. And No, I guess there's people with some opinions about our coaching staff, but again, we try to find, the right fits that are going to be able to fit the needs that we're looking for positionally, and to be able to do the different things that we need to do. And it's not by design. It's just kind of the way things worked out. Like I said, we're going to be announcing very shortly a great addition to our staff that's going to help us get better in a lot of different areas.
I love it. So when it comes to and even your school wise, what are the let me say, I didn't mean to say coaching, but the school wise, what is the overall cost that goes to to Central? What are the costs involved that goes coming to your school?
Yeah. Great question. Again, since we are a state school, it's going to be broken down to whether you're in state or out of state. If you're in state, tuition and fees are around $9,000, and your living expenses are going to be around $11,000. So in state's around $20,000. And if you're out of state, tuition and fees are around $22,000, and the living expenses are again around $11,000. So you're looking at around $33,000 for an out-of-state student, and that's before any type of financial aid, before any baseball scholarships or any academic scholarships that you might earn.
Are you guys fully funded or what?
No, we're not fully funded. We're definitely less than 11.7. So it makes our job, very important. We got to make sure that we limit our mistakes, and the money that we do spend is spent wisely. And on the ring in is extremely important, and we want to make sure that it's the right fit and the money's going in the right places.
All right. Okay. The next question is from Damien. Will you take a shot on the big kid that can rake? He's like 350, but he's got great potential.
Absolutely. We have a pitcher that came in as a freshman. He wasn't 350, but he was about 305, and he's up to 97 on the mound now, and he's lost some weight, and he's got himself in much better shape, and he was getting some calls this year in the 5th round, and he'll be a draft guy next year. So yeah, if there's a guy out there that can rake, we'll definitely take a look.
Hey, there you go. Lord have mercy. 97 coming in 300 pounds, throwing 97. Shoo. All right. Next one, you got Mark.
He's
Mark
also
says
6'7".
Okay, you're a big boy. Yeah, God, offensive lineman over here, man, coming downhill on them. Yeah, Mark says, does coach look at times like 60 velo, exit speed off the bat as indicators for recruiting players, height and weight?
Yes. Yeah. Play a role.
Okay.
I believe those are all part of the equation on getting the right player in the program. That's not every, aren't 6'2" or 6'3". We've had some guys that are 5'8", and they're really good baseball players. So it's kind of a sliding scale on what you feel can be a right fit. You look at the major leagues. Dustin Pedroia is 5'6". Size is important, but it definitely doesn't limit you from being a good baseball player.
All right. We got next question. Let me see. I just learned a new thing, Coach, so I'm playing around with it. I'm showing the questions on the screen. I just learned that real fast. So Yeah. Is it cheaper to go to college in North Carolina out of state than an in-state school in the Northeast? North Carolina values education for all.
Yeah, that's a great statement. Yeah, I think it is cheaper at some schools. Coming from a school at Monmouth University, I believe Monmouth is 50, 60,000. So you get a lot of schools in the Northeast that are, those price tags get pretty high. So it is a good value for out-of-state students as well, especially from the Northeast when you compare it to some of the other schools.
All right. What's up, Lawrence? Lawrence says, do you take walk-ons?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a lot of walk-ons. And the NCAA rules encourage walk-ons. We can only have 27 players on scholarship, and we can carry up to 35. So we do look for quality walk-ons to help fill out the rest of the roster. So the walk-on piece is extremely important to what we do.
All right, love it. So yeah, they when it's not fully funded, I know it's got to be tough when it comes to recruiting. So essentially you can't really miss on guys. Speaking of can't miss, and because of the whole virus going on, how has the virus affected your recruiting? How has it at all, or do you see in the future maybe affecting it?
I think can affect recruiting. You definitely have to be creative, and we try to find players that have good grades where we can package both baseball and academic money to make the ends meet and to make the offer really attractive. So that's why the academic component is important. So we just have to get creative in those ways to make sure all those pieces get met, and we can make the team as competitive as we need it to be.
All right. Let me see. You got a question come in. Russ says, when you look at a lot of HBCU rosters, it seems like the kids are 5'8" to 5'11", from 185 to 195 pounds. And the Power 5 are 6 feet to 6'4", 200 to 230. Does that make a difference in play? Do you target bigger kids, or can you not compete with the Power 5 schools?
Yeah, great question. Again, I do believe physicality plays a key role in a plus 5'8". There's going to be only so much weight or strength that you can add to that frame. Now, like I said before, baseball that aren't 6'2", but yes, you do try to find players that have some physicality that that very high. Don't let that stop us from taking a quality player that might not be 6'2". But again, it's part of the evaluation process. You look at major league players. The physicality is extremely impressive. I had the chance to spend a little bit of time with the collegiate national team with USA Baseball, and that stood out to me. Physicality, so there is definitely something to that. And you got if you're allergic to the weight room and you don't want to fail and push yourself in the weight room, then no matter what size you are, you're gonna struggle. So you got to want to work, whether you're 5'8" or 6'4".
Good deal, Russ. I want to talk a little bit more. You kind of broke up in the middle, but I talk about your partnership. I actually posted you with the USA Baseball. What is your affiliation with USA Baseball?
D, can you tell me that question again? I lost you on that one.
All right. I broke up this time. Yeah. Okay. I had posted the picture from Google of you and USA Baseball, and I know I heard you just talk about it too. So, what is your affiliation with USA Baseball right now?
You're asking me about USA Baseball experience? Yep. I had the
Yeah, like your affiliation with them.
sure. 2 summers ago, the collegiate national team as a technical advisor, and I also got a chance to work with U national team as a manager, and both experiences were unique. Where they reached out to me to get me involved in what they were doing, and it's one of those things when USA Baseball calls you to be a part of it. So I got a chance. 14 U players in the country in Cary for a week. I for the Stripes team where we played a series of the Stars and player development opportunities with their players, and just an incredible week of baseball, all encompassing from on-field education, and it was great to be able to work, do their and develop players. Like I mentioned, the collegiate impressive group of young men. I had an opportunity, impressive group. This town way around.
I think, Coach, you're breaking up. We have a bit of a technical difficulties right now. I don't know. It's like you keep going in and out, and as soon as you hit a good point, it goes out on you. So I don't know. I'm going to ask this couple more. I don't know. Again, it's this new streaming thing. I want to get a couple of questions in, and can you hear me, Coach?
Not too much.
Okay. Yeah, because even your screen is coming in and out. Can you hear me okay now? Can you hear me?
I just heard that last part. I didn't hear anything before that, D.
Okay, well, I think we're both in the same boat right now. So let me do this. Let me ask these questions. You tell me you fill these questions in, and we just make a go out of it. I thank you again. Like I said, you're my tester right now. So Russ asks, what showcases do you attend to see kids?
I think I'll answer that question. I can see the question. We attend a lot of different showcases. If there's anything going on in North Carolina, we're probably going to have a coaching staff member present. And down the evaluate players.
Coach, we're on the same boat. Like I heard the beginning, and then I heard evaluate players at the end. All that good stuff in the middle, we could not. Oh, gosh. We're gonna give one more question, and if it goes out, I'm not. Gosh, we're gonna have to. One of my other guys, like, you got to invite him back on because it's the audio part. So I mean, we're doing okay, but let me get this question in. Mark asked, let me see. I know you can. Let me put it on here so you can see it. And you should be able to see it. Mark asked, let me get this out of here. Okay. Mark says, what does Coach feel his role is in getting baseball exposure to Black kids? And since he is at HBCU.
Yeah, I like that question a lot. And, and this is me being, Mark, this is me being extremely candid and trying to self-evaluate as much as possible. I consider myself someone that has a growth mindset and tries to continually evolve in who I am as a coach and person. And we need to do a better job in that role. That's a really important piece to what an HBCU represents. And we try to recruit the best players we can, but I feel as a staff, we need to do a better job of exposing Black kids to HBCU baseball in North Carolina Central. So it's one of our targets. It's something that we've just recently within the last couple months, and I'm hoping and I believe, over the next few years, there's going to be a stronger representation of the Black community in Carolina Central baseball.
Do you get any pushback, from Black players, at least in where, they're like, hey, man, I think I'm NC State, I think I'm Duke, and do you get any type of pushback from Black players?
Yeah, a good player is a good player. If there's a good Black player in Durham, I'm sure I'm not the only school that's going to want them. We've recruited against a lot of other schools for some really good African American baseball players, and we've gotten some like Carter Williams, who was just signed with San Francisco Giants, and we had a kid, Devin Sweet, 2 years ago with the Seattle Mariners, and we've lost a lot of good Black players to other universities because they're good players. And just because we're an HBCU doesn't mean we're going to get every single Black player out there, because good players are good players, and everybody wants them.
I love it. All right, we have. I think the audio is pretty good now, Coach. I don't know, maybe it's probably my side, but next question is: he has been at Central for 10 years. Does he plan to stay longer, or is he looking to springboard to a bigger school? Putting you on the hot seat, Coach.
Man, you guys got all the tough questions today. My kids would really left. My son, who is now 13, we moved here when he was 4. I tell you what, my son tells me how much he wants to play for North Carolina Central baseball in 5 years, and as me as the head coach. And I know my family wouldn't be happy if I left. So we've spent, going on 10 years now here at North Carolina Central, and we really enjoy it here.
All right. So we hit the camps, hit the financial aid, and the price of the school. We talked about white kids, Black kids, white parents, Black parents. We talked about you leaving potentially to bigger and greener pastures. Got a tough crowd today, Coach. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you, D, I wasn't quite sure.
Ready. And
I tell you what, I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but you definitely got the tough ones in there. That was awesome. It keeps me on my toes. I like it.
That's right. Yeah. Sometimes these guys, they start hitting with these, these questions, man, and yeah, sometimes the coaches they get. I ask basically some of the same type of questions, and Damien, I appreciate you, man. That's why I do these interviews, man. I get to meet great coaches like Coach Coach Jim right here, and I get to learn about schools and get connected with some of these guys, especially if I know that I got some players that are in my circle, in my space. Of course, because he values my opinion, I would like to think that he does. That I say, hey, listen, you need to look out for this kid, and so that's why I do. I love what I do and get the chance to meet different coaches from all across the country, and so yeah, I'm glad you guys get to see me interview because I'm a fan too. I ask these questions from a fan standpoint, and like I said, my sister grew up in Durham, and I haven't been over there. I didn't even know they had the old Durham Stadium right up the street. I've been to the new one, but that shows how much I pay attention, So, but I've never been in the new one either. So don't think that and then the new one is still 20 something years old too. But let me see. Some of these statements are coming in. All right. I'm gonna keep it positive right now. You can see this comment over here coming in. But I should be a little quicker. I'm gonna get good with this. Why didn't it pop up yet? Okay. Anyway, he says just letting people out there in Central out there. Central is a magical campus with a lot of history and a lot of support from the city.
I concur. Great statement. Tremendous support.
All right. Let me see. Yes, we need more Black players to get an opportunity. Sometimes they get overlooked when they don't have the height or not that big time hype. Let me show this question to you, Coach. You tell me, what your thoughts are on this. And Mark is from Texas, and I think he has a undersized catcher. I think undersized. So he says, yes, we need more Black players to get an opportunity. Sometimes they get overlooked when they don't have the height or that big time height. Your thoughts on that, Coach?
Yeah, Mark, I don't disagree with you on both statements. Black players need to get more opportunity, and some players do get overlooked based off of their height and size, whether white or black. And like I said, there's a lot of good ball players out there that aren't 6'2", and it's a coach's job to find the value in those players and to see how they fit in their program. But I encourage you or your son, if you're referring to your son, to keep working, to get video out, to target schools that you might have interest in, and put your son out there and see who responds and what feedback you get from different coaches.
All right. We got next one we got here. I think it's a really good question. Let's it'll pull up, I guess, in the next hour. But how do you get your kid a good amount of exposure? Should we tweet schools and coaches?
Yes, I recommend that. I think, with social media, the power nowadays is too great to not use as a tool for anybody out there. I have seen, especially now that we can't go out and recruit, I have seen more quality baseball players on Twitter than I have in the last 10 years of coaching. So if your son does have an account and he has video, and yeah, I'd put it up there. And I'd target different coaches and universities that you might have interest in.
All right. There we go. Let's stay here. Coach, you can ask this. Mark says, Central is in Durham.
That is correct. Right in Durham, North Carolina, right next to the Duke and NC State and UNC, right in the heart of the triangle.
All right. Yeah, I promise you that whole area just feels like a big old college town, you know, just so many colleges, the whole state, you know.
Yes,
and
you're right.
Really good programs, man. All right. Damon says, do you need to come out to Las Vegas and check out talent? I have a brother out there in Vegas, and I sure do need to come out there and check out the talent of out there. And I was trying to do something. I have my boy Dave Krenzel, who runs the program out there, and ex-big league teammate of mine. And you know, we tried to do something last year, but maybe in the future we can. So my boy Mark says, let me see. Yeah, I want you to. He says, Coach Jim, you have been a great interview. All right. I got all. I'm sorry, I blended all this thing.
It's all right. I appreciate that, Mark. Thank you.
Yeah, he was the one hitting you with those hard questions. All right, let me say this, Coach. A couple more, and I'll get you out of here, Coach. I'm over here like a kid in the candy store right now, trying to learn how to work this over here. So, Damien asked, so did I hear you say that you guys have 27 scholarship players? How is that divided?
Yeah. It's like a math formula. We have to divide our scholarships up among different players. So there was no one on a full ride, you know, as far as baseball money goes. You know, it's all percentage based. You know, the minimum we can give a player is 25%, and our guys are anywhere between 25% and some guys up to 80 or 90%. But it just depends on, you know, the fit and the talent level and what we're looking for. Most of the big money offers go to the pitchers. You know, you got to have quality arms, and you got to take care of the guys throwing the baseball, because winning and losing starts with the guy in the bump.
You ain't lying about that. You're not lying about that. Boy, Triple, man, sorry about your father-in-law. Shout out to KC up there, going headed up to Nebraska. Lauren says, do you have dates for the camps?
Lawrence, yeah, we do.
I should have wrote it down.
That's okay. Lawrence, if you want to send me an email, I will give you the dates, but it's the 23rd and 30th of August. And if you're interested, or you know someone that is, if you email me, I'll send you the brochure and the flyer and give you all the details.
Yeah, I hope you got the email, Lawrence. I'll put it up there in the comments a little bit up. I'll post it at the end too. Monique says, let me put Monique question up there, Coach. I should, you know, D Brown need to jump on this and get a little better. All right. Let me show Monique's question. Monique says, is being a utility player a good thing?
Yeah, for me it is. I personally, especially since we don't have 11.7 scholarships where we're not fully funded, I personally like players that have versatility. It gives me options as a coach. It helps create more depth on the roster. It helps create more competition. So, you know, I like guys that have, you know, that flexibility and being able to play a couple different positions. So that might differ from another coach, but for me personally, I like guys that can move around the field a little bit.
Hey, Coach, I don't know too many guys that don't like, you know, guys that can play multiple positions and play them fairly well. So, yeah, and guys that don't like that, you know, I don't even know if they real coaches to me. But Kathy, you know, appreciate it. I know Coach appreciates it too. And let me see here. Mark says, okay, they are not fully funded. Correct. He stated that a little earlier. And you know, it is, he said it's hard for HBCU schools. And, I think I talked to, and we talked about this. He definitely wanted to shout you out. Coach Reed up there at Coppin State. I always talk about who's coming on tomorrow, but I think he said he's not fully funded. Is there any HBCU school that's fully funded that you know of?
Not that I know of. I'll be honest with you, D, and people don't know this. There are 300 Division I baseball programs in the country, or right around that number, and I would say half of them are fully funded.
That's it, huh? Wow.
So the other half, 11.7. So, oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's surprising, but it's.
Yeah, that's all right. Question is, what if you have great fielder PO, but an average hitter? Are they still a value to your team?
Can you hear me? Yep. It depends on opinion, and you can play defense. Then absolutely there's value there. You get into some other positions, you're going to probably have to have the bat carry you in the lineup a little bit more. But if you can play defense in the middle infield or catch or even play center field at a high level, then absolutely there's value for that.
No doubt about it. Mark says Coppin was a good interview as well. No doubt. So, Coach, I've had you on here for a little over an hour, 15, little overtime. I hope you don't mind. All right, here we go. All right, we got you guys got 2 more minutes to get these questions in for Coach, and then we go on and get him out of here, and and I appreciate Coach and doing way more than just answering these questions. He was my tester today, and I appreciate that, Coach. So Mark says, in Coach's opinion, from his experience, why has the NCAA not been more supportive of college baseball and granted more scholarships similar to football?
It all comes down to revenue. Unfortunately, in the majority of college baseball programs they don't produce any revenue for the university, where football does, with TV and attendance. And I think it's just strictly related to cost. Baseball just doesn't bring in any money when football and basketball does, unfortunately. It's just kind of the nature of college athletics at the moment.
Yep. So anyway, questions going once, going twice, going 3 times. All right. So, Coach, man, listen, I have all my guests that come on. Always have them end it with a great message that you have. You've been giving us great info, and learned a lot about UNC, about Central, and I would love for you to, for my listeners listening in, and I thank you listeners for being patient with me with this new streaming thing I'm using. But Coach, if you could take us out with a great message, man, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, sure. First, D, I just want to thank you for letting me come on today. I've really enjoyed it, but put me on the spot here. But something that's been on my mind, based off of everything that's gone on in this country over the last several months, from the pandemic to the terrible tragedy with George Floyd. I believe this country needs sports. I believe it brings people together, both black and white. And I love to see Major League Baseball get their act together and get these players back on the field, and the NBA and the NHL, because we all as people need to come together and root for something in a positive and united way.
Hey, I agree with everything you just said, man. And it's More than you know, and that was one of the best messages I've heard in a while, man. So, and I'm going to end it on that. Jim, man, I appreciate you, man. You guys, follow Central, and he's doing great things. And I spoke to a dad behind the scenes about the program, and he spoke very highly of your program and what you got going on. And I'm talking about Hal Williams, and because I did ask, I told him I was going to be coming on. I was going to surprise you, Coach, and try to bring him on here too, but I want to give you the spotlight. And there's no way I could definitely try to bring in other people right now with what I'm trying to learn with this system right now. So, but I appreciate you, brother. We will be in contact. I know Monday night I'll talk more about this, but I promote it while I'm here. But Monday night we're going to have a roundtable discussion with HBCU coaches. So, Coach, you are more than you are invited. If Monday evening at 7 p.m. We're going to have a roundtable discussion, talk more things about the George Floyd, HBCUs, and just give you guys more shine and light. I got JV Jose Vasquez committed, and Kerry Jackson from Southern committed, and yesterday, at least online, I'm gonna hold him to it. Your boy Sherman, Coach Sherman Reed over at Coppin, said he would come on. So I haven't heard back. I sent out a couple more. So you
count me in.
Inviting you to this roundtable on Monday night. So all right, good deal, man. So we just I'm just trying to highlight and showcase the HBCU and show you guys some love. And I like I understand it's a HBCU, but I like the unity and the mix and the players, and for especially what you just said, what's going on in the country right now. So I just want to show that love right there. But tomorrow, tomorrow it's a special guest coming on tomorrow, Coach. And hold on for a second before we head out here. I'm talking about Monday already, but tomorrow I want to show a little love to the women tomorrow. All right, Coach. I have never had a woman, and gosh, in the 300 shows I've done, all right, I'm right around. I think this might have been right around my 300th show, and but no, I have moms. I think maybe, but I've got an assistant coach, Bianca Smith, from Carroll University, who is a woman and happened to be a minority woman at that. So I'm excited to have her on, hear her story. You see, so we go on full spectrum, around here. So I think that'll be a great interview. I'm super excited to hear her story. And so tomorrow at 4 p.m., you guys come on board, and we're going to continue this knowledge. And we have Bianca Smith from Carroll University as assistant baseball coach. I want to hear this, hear her story. So so you guys tune in tomorrow at 4 p.m. So, Coach, again, August 26th and August 30th for the camps, right?
23rd and 30th. August 23rd and August 30th.
All right. Okay, cool. I put his email in there. He says he likes video, email. Right now, these guys are chopping at the bit to get on the field. So if you want exposure, I heard a coach say, a parent say that. How do we get it? Right now, this is the best time because these coaches are not able to go places right now. So they're at home and doing the recruiting from home right now. So get your videos out. I know, I could tell and talk to him. He's a baseball nut, baseball guy. He wants to, he's all about ball, and he's chomping at the bit like most of us coaches are right now, just wanting to get back on the field. So he wants to see that video. So send that video out to him. The email is in the comment section. Coach, again, I appreciate you, brother. I'll send that email out to you for about Monday night, and I guess I'll see you in a few days.
Thank you so much. I had a lot of fun. Thank you, D. Take care.
All right, cool. Parents, 4 p.m. tomorrow. Love you guys.